Hello there, my Captain Play guys and gals. This is Captain Play Guy here with the Q&A that I announced a while ago, and I'm finally doing. So yeah! Do you enjoy tofu?
No.
Favorite book? At the moment, it's Catcher in the Rye, but Calvin and Hobbes is behind that. And consistently some of my favorite books. Life of Pi was pretty good, too. Favorite Team Fortress 2 class? I'm caught between Scout and Spy. Scout because he's a cocky, immature guy running around so fast, going bonk, bonk, bonk. He's just a fun guy. Spy because he can pose as anyone. Anyone.
It could be you!
Oh.
It could be me!
Oh.
It could even be...
And I love the phrase,
Gentlemen?
lots of spaghetti or dinner? Well, lots of spaghetti is dinner for me, so I win everything! Have you ever been to Lake Europe? Dude, I was born in Europe. What do you do when you're bored? Stop being bored and be awesome instead. Unless I'm like, don't feel like doing anything. How much wood, scientifically, could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Based on the information I saw on a television program years ago, the woodchuck could chuck 1,000 pounds of wood. Got anything wacky to say? Rocket Boy Chicken! What is the worst movie you ever saw? Most likely Battleship. Don't get me wrong, it was a good action flick, but a movie based on a board game? That doesn't leave much to go on. And why did aliens get into this? And why this is the worst movie I've seen? I just don't go out to the movies much. Not like in my whole life, I don't go out to them much. It's rare for something to catch my eye. Wreck-It Ralph was pretty good though, it was awesome. And I've thought about seeing that Life of Pi movie that's out now. What are some games you would like to personally LP in the future? Pokemon games for sure, a bit of Legend of Zelda as well. I'm also hoping to be able to Let's Play at least one Xbox game that I have. What is a game you would like to see be made? Well, I would like to see a traditional type of RPG game with the sprites, styles, and everything. Normally I'm not into RPGs like Final Fantasy, but the one that I'm imagining is one that I direct and voice it. Me and a few friends actually have plans to start up some movie/video game production company in some years. If that takes off, oh my god. If you could trade places with anyone, fictional or non-fictional, who would it be? Normally I wouldn't trade places with someone, but for a day, Mario, and become the living paradox of a fat Italian man who somehow never tires from running, and jumping, and spinning, and fireballing, and flying, and smashing, and coining, and iceballing, and swimming, and spacing, and spraying, and killing, and meddling, and sliding, and What are some games you're looking forward to? Number one game that I am looking forward to is Metal Gear Revengeance. That I am getting for my birthday, almost, no doubt. What was the first video game you ever played? I don't remember. I remember Super Mario Kart and Super Mario World being among my first games. Favorite video game not on a Nintendo console or handheld? I find it hard to choose just one, so I'll just list them in no particular order. L.A. Noire, Assassin's Creed 2, and Skyrim. Which 5 Nintendo characters do you most want to see in the next Smash Bros. Game? Bowser Jr., Waluigi, Mewtwo, Crystal, and me. Me! Least favorite Brawl character? Game & Watch. I swear, he cheats. Do you plan on getting a Wii U? Eventually. The only games that I'm interested in at the time is New Super Mario Bros. U and Nintendo Land. Favorite Pokemon? I can't say that I have a favorite since there are some cool ones out there, but I'll use what I think my signature one to be as the answer. Nidoking. Every time I've played my Pokemon Yellow, I always catch a male Nidoran and raise it to Nidoking. And he's an interesting Pokemon, like a mini Mew or Mewtwo when it comes to TMs. Favorite quote?
That'll be the day.
Favorite color? I have multiple favorites. Red, silver, black, and white. Please note the colors and channels. Favorite movie? I'm having trouble deciding. Wreck-It Ralph and the Avengers are fresh on my mind, but there are others that I liked a lot as well. That includes a few Godzilla movies. Favorite sport? Probably baseball. That was the only sport that I really participated in as a kid, even joining a team. But overall, I'm not interested in sports. Favorite internet meme? Now you simply can't expect me to choose just one, as it's not suitable for all situations. What foreign country would you most like to visit? Japan. Simply because Nintendo. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? Complete power over all reality. Pirates or ninjas? Ninjas. They're freaking badass. They'll officially be extinct soon when the last ninja grandmaster dies eventually. Who was best pony?
Warning, I am not a Brody.
I'd say Twilight Sparkle. Her element of harmony is magic, a culmination of all the other ponies' elements. She is a student of Celestia, who is basically God for all these ponies, not unlike the sun god Ra from Egyptian mythology. Will we see the voiding system continue without changes in the future? Most likely. I don't see any changes that need to be made to the system. Where do you hope the channel to be after 1, 2, and 3 years? After a year, a small but notable following. 2, having a medium-sized audience. 3, hopefully partnered before then. What is your favorite video game franchise? Super Smash Bros. It has practically all of Nintendo's history in it, and it introduces people to its other franchises. In fact, I'd never heard of Solid Snake until Brawl, then I gave one of the Metal Gear Solid games a try. I loved it. I know Snake's not Nintendo, but really. Who is your favorite Let's Player?
Warning, totally non-generic answer here.
I'd say Mr. Game and Pichu. He was the first LPer I knew on a more personal level, and one of the first people I got to know on YouTube in general. I helped him become an LPer, and I love you, Mr. Game and Pichu! What systems do you own and can record on? I have a Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Nintendo Wii, Xbox 360, and a PS2, which can double for PS1 games, though I barely have any ideas on what I would play on the PS2. I also have a Game Boy Advance to play on the go. You know that feel? I do know that feel. Can you touch your elbow with your nose? If I can't touch it with my tongue, what makes you think I can do it with my nose? Who is your all-time favorite video game character and why? Oh jeez, one of these hard-to-choose answer questions. You know what? I can't pick. I can't pick just one. Snake, Sonic, Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Link, Fox, and Olimar are all cool to me, and I like them all. Who/what are your biggest influences as a performer/video producer? Psycho Stick's my favorite band. When I think of playing live shows, I most often think of it styled after Psycho Stick. Chugga introduced me to the concept of Let's Playing, and in general, the big people pushed me to get better at video editing. What are some of your favorite video gaming memories? One that stands out to me is one time when I was playing Super Mario World with my sister. We were at one of those sky levels. It was my turn. I was running around dodging the flying Koopas. I managed to dodge them, but I fell to my death in the crouched position. The ending of Twilight Princess, the first time I saw it, actually made me tear up. It was very nice. Prototype 2 had some fun with dealing gory death and overall just feeling like a total badass. What color is your toothbrush? Clear/blue. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? No, but Johnny beat him in the violin contest when he was just a child. Suck it, Tenacious D. Are you a bad enough dude to save the president's daughter? I am. In-game. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? How should I know? It's her fault for wandering out of the kitchen. I'm kidding. But she ain't my woman, so why should I care? What color reminds you most of the past? I haven't associated the past with the color. Do you have a go-to song/movie/game/book that always cheers you up when you're angry or sad? I don't really feel sad or angry, just content or frustrated with life. If frustrated, funny videos, mostly YouTubers. Richer! If you were a superhero, what would your powers be? What accessories would come with your action figure? Would you have a sidekick or be part of a team? To be fair, in this case, I'll choose the power of superhuman abilities. Basically, my senses and abilities increased. I'm not thinking of any accessories to go with it, and I would probably work alone. What is the one inanimate object you cannot live without? Food/drink. Sure, it's two different things, but... If you could meet any famous person, living or dead, who would it be? What would you talk about? The person who discovered milk in cows. We talk about what circumstances brought forth this discovery. What media that has not been well received by critics and other customers do you consider guilty pleasures? There are games that people shun to a degree that I enjoy. Godzilla Unleashed is a mild example, and I enjoyed Sonic Unleashed as well. Why do you think Mario is such an enduring icon in gaming, while Sonic's popularity has been on the decline for the past several years? It's kinda hard to screw up Mario. No, that never happened to me. Sonic, they really effed up on that. They almost killed the series with 06. Wait, canonically, that never happened. Then I must be a time traveler! But Sonic's been getting better. His games have been improving, they're more fun. He was even in the Wreck-It Ralph movie. What's on top of your bucket list? What's the one thing you absolutely must accomplish before you die? I must raise a good family before I die. What is your dream role? Hero/villain of epic proportions. What is your favorite role you've played so far? Not sure. I've played Jesus, a goth sort of dude, my clones. I can't choose between all that. What are your favorite and least favorite movie adaptation of games? Wreck-It Ralph's my favorite movie adaptation of games. Least favorite? I haven't seen any besides Wreck-It Ralph, really. Though the pornos of the Mario Bros might top that, just because I know of it. What are your favorite and least favorite movie licensed games? Spider-Man 3 on the Wii would be my favorite movie game. It had some fun to it, in spite of the weird graphics glitch that happened when you climbed higher. Least favorite... I don't know, Transformers? I don't play many movie games. What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? That singer's a spy! Get magnets. How do they work? Magic. If you could be any dinosaur, which one would you be? The one that survives the dinosaur apocalypse. If you could keep any dinosaur as a pet, which one would you choose? A tamed Velociraptor. Are you pondering what I'm pondering? I think so, but balancing school and video production? Oh, it's almost too much for me. Is Hobbs a harmless imaginary friend, or is Calvin completely insane? A 6-year-old child being insane. No, I don't think Calvin's insane, though the effects of Hobbs can be felt oddly specifically. Are there any fictional characters you wish were real, so you could meet and hang out with them? Well, if any of them did exist, what guarantee do I have that I get to meet and hang out with them? Do you know yet what your resolution for the new year will be? Well, I wasn't exactly planning on broadcasting this, but my resolution is to take a random prompt every day and respond to it, collecting every one of those in a document. Least favorite Pokemon. I'm limited to the first 3 generations, and out of those I like pretty much all of them. But the one that I like the least, which I actually have dislike for, is Trapinch. That is a fucking troll. I spent a good amount of time looking for what turned out to be its evolution by Brava. What the fuck? It looks nothing like its evolutions. Now that chafes my hide. Thank you for sticking with me throughout this whole video, peoples. I hope you enjoyed my answers. I loved answering your questions. And be on the lookout for the video game collection, other half of the 20 sub special, and then the LP voting video for LP number 3. And then, I don't know, cupcakes?